this. You've clicked on this video. You're on YouTube. I know you get hooked in the first 30 seconds. We're talking about the criticism that's intensifying after Big Oil admits they've been gaslighting the public over green aims, which is something that John Oliver had referenced in a previous episode that we've covered on this show. So before we hop into it, I need you to do me a favor. Hit that motherfucking like, hit that subscribe, hit that bell to stay notified. Look, I've grabbed your attention. You should come to Twitch. I play video games on here. You think you nice at Multiverses? Come see me. You think you nice at COD? Come see me. You think you nice at Tekken? Come see me. Come see me in any fighting game. Come see me. I'm right here. I'm not running nowhere. I'm not running nowhere. What are you talking about? Fuck is you talking about? Go hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to stay notified. I've been throwing uploads all fucking like the last couple of weeks. Y'all getting mad content and I'm making more for you right now. Fuck is you want? Anyway. Criticism intensifies after Big Oil admits gaslighting public over green aims. Fury, as explosive files reveal largest oil companies contradicted public statements and wish bedbugs upon critical activists. Crazy. Criticism in the U.S. of the oil industry's obfuscation over the climate crisis intensifying after internal documents showed companies attempted to distance themselves from agreed climate goals, admitted gaslighting the public over purported efforts to go green, and even wished critical activists be invested by bedbugs. The communications were unveiled as a part of a congressional hearing held in Washington, D.C., where an investigation into the role of fossil fuels in driving the climate crisis produced documents obtained. Where an investigation into the role of fossil fuels in driving the climate crisis produced documents obtained from the oil giants ExxonMobil, Chevron, Shell, and BP. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they wish bedbugs on you, then you win, said Varshini Pakrash, executive director of Sunrise. The organization accused Shell of a legacy of violence and ignoring the well-being of communities across the globe. Yo, I remember that BP oil spill, and I still to this day, will always, for the love of me, yes, you're getting this live on YouTube because I appreciate you, and y'all have been sticking it through for me for a very long time. So, this is what you're about to hear in an article form.
In the South Pacific, I was angry at Unified Petroleum for what they were doing to the oceans. But then I started thinking, what exactly is an ocean? An ocean is an environment that constantly changes and adapts throughout history. And I realized this is not a tragedy. This is an exciting new time for our ocean. This is Ocean 2.0.
You know, this recent incident has really made me marvel at just how resilient our planet is. From ice ages to asteroids, Mother Nature has seen worse than this in the past. And the old girl always manages to pull through. Frankly, I'm excited to see how she's going to adapt this time. Maybe all the currents will change, taking all the oil to Antarctica. Or maybe fascinating new marine life will evolve, like fish that can breathe oil, or a bird that likes being sticky. It's how we at Unified Petroleum are helping to reimagine the world's oceans.
As a scientist, I'm an expert on things at the molecular level. I've been closely monitoring the changes that this new addition to our ocean has brought about. And what's most amazing about this recent opportunity is that for the first time in millions of years, the oceans have gained an attribute. The ocean has always been wet, and it has always been salty. But you couldn't always set it on fire. Now you can. Now, we can.
Look, Mom, a rainbow on the water.
That's great, honey. Plus, Unified Petroleum donates $1 from every million it makes towards putting more computers in classrooms across the country. As a mother, I like that.
You know, they say that oil and water don't mix.
But damn it if we're not trying.
Unified Petroleum, we have nowhere to go but up.
That's all I'm saying. The revelations were part of the third hearing held by the House Committee on Oversight and Reform on how the fossil fuel industry sought to hamper the effort to address the climate crisis. Democrats, who led the committee, called top executives from the oil companies to testify last year, in which they denied they had misled the public. The new documents are the latest evidence that oil giants keep lying about their commitments to help solve the climate crisis and should never be trusted by policymakers. If there's one thing consistent about the oil and gas majors' position on climate, it's their inability to tell the truth. Co-chair of the committee said the new documents are explosive and show a culture of intense disrespect to climate activists. The oil giants' climate pledges rely on unproven technology, accounting gimmicks, and misleading language to hide the reality. Like, as Cagnadian has said, the carbon footprint campaign, and also carbon offsets, as we just had a whole discussion on. Carbon offsets are obviously like not doing enough. Not doing pretty much anything at all, but I'm going to give it enough because that's the only thing we got. This is where it gets really like hard to be XOXO doomerish, you know what I mean? There's this. Okay, both of those are loose. That's not good. Why did they just get loose like that? Remove them? Sorry, my chair is loose. See what I do on Twitch Live? This is why I don't be posting y'all, giving y'all these segments. Because it'd be like, why would I do that? But I feel like you be smoking weed when you be watching my videos anyway. And if you're not, start doing that. What the fuck is wrong with you? How are you listening to the paradigm shift without a groove in your hand and a groove on the TV set? My son, we come to take over. MC, you better look over your shoulder. Yeah, you know, on and on. Skin dread, we in your area. Bring the rockets, you know, we superior. Yeah, you know, Nobody gets out of this shock pit alive. Nobody gets out alive. And if you don't know that song, sucks to be you. Anyway. I'm always the cool guy until I have to exhale. Big oil executives are laughing at the people trying to protect our planet while they knowingly work to destroy it. Several of the emails and memos within the released trove of documents, which you can click here, but I'm not going to do on stream because I feel like that's, or I should say for this video, because, well, you can find the article. You hear from my take on it, but I'm giving you the information first. Several of the emails and memos within the released trove of documents appear to show executive staffers and lobbyists internally contradicting public. Okay, that's repeated. Exxon, which recently announced profits of $17.9 billion for the 3 months until June, more than 3 times what it earned in the same quarter a year ago, has publicly said it is committed to the Paris Climate Agreement to curb global heating. However, the documents released by the Democratic-led House Committee include an August 2019 memo by an executive to Darren Woods, Exxon's chief executive, on the need to remove reference to Paris Agreement from an announcement by an industry lobby group that Exxon is a member of. Such a statement could create a potential commitment to advocate on the Paris Agreement goals. A separate note on the 2018 Exxon presentation all admitted that biofuels derived from algae was still decades away from the scale we need, despite the company long promoting it as a way to lower emissions. Shell, meanwhile, has committed to being a net zero emissions business by 2050, and yet the documents show a private 2020 communication in which employees are urged to never imply, suggest, or leave it open for possible misinterpretation that net zero is a Shell goal or target. Shell has no immediate plans to move a net zero emissions portfolio over the next 10 to 20 years, it added. A Shell tweet posted in 2020 asking others what they could do to reduce emissions and resulted in a torrent of ridicule from Twitter users. A communications executive for the company wrote privately that criticism that the tweet was gaslighting the public was not totally without merit, and that the tweet was pretty tone deaf. He added, "We are, after all, in a tweet like this implying others need to sacrifice without focusing on ourselves." The UK headquartered oil company, which in July announced a record $11.5 billion quarterly profit, also poured scorn on climate activists, with a communications specialist at the company emailing in 2019 that he wished bed bugs upon the Sunrise Movement, a youth-led U.S. climate group. So, now that you've gotten that, I guess it's time for me to give you my demons, a lot of them. This is legal. I want to ask you a question from the bottom of my soul. And this might be the first time y'all ever get to see in a long time that season 1 paradigm. I want to ask you a question, just a straight up question. If this is legal under capitalism, why would you want it? Why would you want forces that actively kill the world that you live in and you see no benefit from it? You don't have a car. You don't care about gas prices. Your friends care about gas prices. You don't. What's happening here? What's happening right now? Why are things like this coming out and nobody gives a shit? There's your enemy. There's your billionaires. There's your corporate oligarchs. Right there. Lying to you. Lying to your face with evidence. It's not like they hide in the shit. It's not like they hide in the shit. It's not like they hide in the shit. It's right there for you to get. It's right there for you to understand. It's right there for you to feel like what? What's the issue here? What's the issue? Can somebody explain it for me? What's the issue? Can you reform that? You got to rewrite all the laws. You got to rewrite all the tax code. Wouldn't it just be easier to just make a new one? Oh, abolish the. I get it now. See? Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, hopefully you've made it to the 11-minute mark. I am going to pose a question that I would like you to answer in the comments below. Why are we so hung up on a system that clearly does not give a fuck about any of us? If not for the one opportunity that we might be able to participate in it in the way that they have done to us? Is that possible? Food for thought. I'm a paradigm shift. I'll see you in the next one.